You mentioned Donald Trump tonight and the threat you believe he has to Planned Parenthood in the future. But it's interesting because you talked about how you think he doesn't know where he stands on issues. And in an interview in 1999 on NBC, he was quoted on saying how he was, quote, very pro-choice. And in the election, he's shifted his opinion. So do you honestly believe that he is pro-life? Or do you think he's just doing this for political purposes to gain support of the further right?
Well, I don't know. As you say, he has been all over the map on this, but I do know what he's committed to do when he's elected president of the United States, and that is to end access to Planned Parenthood and to appoint justices to the Supreme Court who would overturn Roe versus Wade. So I have to take him at his word. Certainly his choice of a running mate, if there were anything that could sort of put a highlighter on these opinions, it was the choice of Mike Pence. This is a congressman who was 100% unsuccessful, never passed a single bill, and the only reason he was really known in Washington was he led the fight to defund Planned Parenthood, and again was unsuccessful at that. But that is his legislative experience, and we've seen what he did in the state of Indiana to do the same. So I believe this is a pair here that are fully committed to overturning access not only to Planned Parenthood but to women's health care writ large.
It's interesting, though, that you see Donald Trump in the past has actually lauded the work of Planned Parenthood. Do you think this is just because he's running for the White House, or do you think that he really feels that Planned Parenthood must be defunded?
That's what he has said, and so I have to take him at his word. And look, he's also said that he wants to overturn the Affordable Care Act and replace it with Donald Care. Well, I don't want Donald Care. The Affordable Care Act has provided health insurance coverage to millions of Americans. There's work we need to do to improve it, but there is absolutely no way we can elect a president of the United States who has so little regard for not only for Planned Parenthood, but for women's access to health care.
You mentioned Obamacare and the access that is provided, like contraceptive care. What do you say to the religious groups that are out there that are still saying that, they don't want that they don't want, the option, they want that out of government, nothing to really do with it?
Well, so 95% of women in the United States use birth control. That's a pretty big number. And the great thing about the Affordable Care Act is it simply provides health insurance coverage. It doesn't say anyone has to use birth control, but since the overwhelming majority of women do, and because it is an economic issue for women, the good news is now they can actually get it, and they get it covered by their insurance plans. And I think the one thing that pretty much everyone in this country agrees upon is that reducing unintended pregnancy is a good thing. And it's good for women, it's good for families, it's good for the country. And we are seeing now a record low in teen pregnancy, a 30-year low in unintended pregnancy, and that is directly related to better access to birth control.
Great. Well, thank you.